becoming a Breggy homer.
That's it, Breggy homer.
Breggy homer, and it barely got over the wall. It was doesn't matter. Counts as a run. 393-footer to left center field. That's all the Astros could muster.
Not like the cheapies that the Astros were giving up 330 feet, 340 feet.
Right. Well, I thought about this. Like, would that have been a homer at Minute Maid? Because it was such a
393.
Yeah, but it was low. You know, like would that have like hit off of that wall? You know, in Minute Maid because it's got that high, that high line up there, and that's like what is it in Minute Maid? Like 369 or something like that to left center field at that point. I don't know.
Well, you have the line at that point. You like that yellow line.
Yeah. I mean, it's high up there. I don't know how high it is, but that looked like a kind of a line drive homer for Breggy earlier in this one. 1-1, though, as we head to the top of the sixth inning. Continue to keep you updated on that one. Games of consequence tonight, really just one. Red Sox and the Royals.
Alex Bregman home run in 22 of 30 parks.
There you go.
So
probably include Minute Maid into that one.
Overwhelmingly would have been a home run. And if you want to know, would it have been out at Houston? No.
Yeah, see, I didn't think so.
It would not have been out at Houston.
Too low. It would have banged off the wall.
In fact, it would not have been out at Camden.
Fenway,
Minute Maid, Kauffman.
Okay.
Angel Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the hell they call whatever Pittsburgh's
PNC.
Yeah,
is that it?
I don't want to say Heinz Field, but that's the football stadium.
Yeah, I can't believe I got PNC though, man.
PNC Park.
I always get PNC and then Old Pat.
Also
Park.
would not have been out at Coors. Although in reality, if he hit it at Coors, it probably would have been 440 feet. So
yeah, maybe I don't know. It didn't catch the air, like I said. It was just really a freaking pea shot to left center field. Red Sox in Kansas City, 2-2, headed to the bottom of the fifth.
Would not have been out in Atlanta.
All right, is that the eighth?
So that's the eighth, yeah.
That's the eighth. Okay.
That's the eighth. Wouldn't have been out in Atlanta.
So Royals, Red Sox, the only other game of consequence. Rays are off and M's are off tonight. And obviously we'll have an H-Town postgame show at the conclusion of this one tonight. Up next on Hot Leads.
Real quick, for those of you looking for the YouTube stream, it is back up.
Yay! Here we go. Let's go. Is that Byron Matthews to the rescue? Yeah?
To the rescue.
Can I give you credit for this? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Appreciate you. All right. Chase Buttinger and U.S. Beach Volleyball was ousted from the medal hunt earlier today. Former Rocket sharpshooter Chase Buttinger and his teammate Miles Evans overmatched by Norwegians. Damn those guys. They brought their Olympic competition to an end. The U.S. started the Summer Games with a win over France. That's maybe the most important thing. Damn the French.
These Norwegians, they're trying to control the shipping lanes. They're trying to control cruise liners.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to control beach volleyball.
U.S. lost to the Netherlands and Spain.
With their Iceman haircuts.
Their Iceman haircuts. They all like short and blonde.
Yeah.
Like bleach blonde.
Spiky.
Buttinger needed a victory today to reach the round of 16, but they lost to Anders Mole and Christian Sorum of Norway. They're defending gold medalists. They lost 21-16, 21-14. It did them in. Also in the Olympics, Simone Biles. Her journey in 2024 is done. Done and over with. Ended with another medal. She got a silver in the floor exercise finals earlier today. Her fourth medal in Paris, and some costly steps out of bounds during her routine cost her a shot at gold, but she now has 11 Olympic medals overall in her career. 11. She is badass. Did you guys?
She is 4'8".
She's 4'8".
They
yes.
had a picture of her next to Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it is the strangest looking thing you've ever seen.
No, you say that. I was going to ask you because I saw that, and then I scrolled down a little bit further on my timeline as I'm looking for, just looking through Simone Biles highlights. Did you guys see the one? I don't know how old she is, but she's probably the size of like a 6-year-old. She had to be older than 6 doing what she was doing.
Oh, like the little kid thing?
Little kid thing, yeah. Oh, my gosh, dude. That's crazy.
They showed the videos of her from, I guess, 3 Olympics ago.
Mm-hmm.
and she still has braces. And
Oh, I showed you the picture, the other day. That was the first time I'd saw it, and I remember her looking like that.
She is all the badass you could possibly squeeze into 4'8".
But damn, it just makes you feel old. I think she's only 27, right? 27. I don't think she's 30 yet. She's 27 or 28 years old. Maybe she's got one more Olympics.
No, she is retired.
Who knows? Is she retired?
She has said she's retired.
Did she call it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
When did that happen? Today?
Like yesterday.
What?
Yesterday or today?
Oh, come on.
I did read that this was going to be her last Olympics.
Damn. I hope she gets the juices flowing again. I hope she gets it going. Say she's retired, chill out for a year.
Crazy to think she's 27. She's married to an NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she would like to live her life for herself and her family and maybe have a family as opposed to continue to compete in the Olympics. Maybe she wants to have a family. I mean, I would think with all the Olympic success she's had, she's pretty freaking rich.
She's very freaking rich, I would imagine. And we'll have many more Wheaties boxes in her future, I think, or at least the residuals coming her way from those and many, many more things. Did you guys see this? The announcer that botched the call in the men's 100-meter race the other day? I
did see the call where the guy had the wrong call. And, it's understandable that he had the wrong call. Because
Thank you.
So everyone watching and 99.9% of all the announcers, nobody knew that it wasn't first person across the line, that it's first torso across the line.
I did not know that.
So the announcer, just like everyone else, his foot crossed first. He won.
Yeah, but do you have the call ready? Let's play the call. And listen, the announcer actually apologized, I think it was today, for being so, adamant about the winner, which was the Jamaican. Take a listen.
There's an Olympic gold medal waiting for somebody who wants it the most. Now Thompson starts to wind up. Curley's going with him. This is close. Jamaica's going to do it. Shane Thompson is a gold medalist on debut. We thought it was going to take 9.7 to win. Guess what he just ran? 9.78. But it was a lean at the tape by Thompson. Visually, we think he got it. They're working on the photo. Fred Curley pushed him all the way. Noah Lyles is looking anxiously.
So there's the call, and the announcer today apologized for getting it wrong. Lee Diffie is the NBC announcer that you heard there. Great call. And you know what? I wouldn't have apologized because he got it wrong by 0.00005 seconds or whatever it was. And to the eye, I thought the Jamaican dude won too.
I think overwhelmingly people thought the Jamaican guy won. Even Noah Lyles was congratulating him, saying that he won. And nobody knew Lyles won until they put it up on the screen that his lean got his chest across the line first by less than 0.05 of a second.
I still don't believe it.
It takes more to blink than it does for the amount of time between when Noah Lyles crossed and the other guy crossed.
Did you see the whole confusing? I was so confused for a whole day because I didn't see it live. So I'm at my father-in-law's house, and he's talking about how the American won. And I'm like, oh, sweet, Noah Lyles won. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I go home later that night, and I watch it, and I'm like, my father-in-law, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. The freaking Jamaican guy clearly won, and I didn't have the sound on, right? I'm watching it, cool. I'm like, I'm kind of mad. Like, he told me the American won. The Jamaican guy clearly won. It's not even close. And
it was close, bro. It was close.
No, if you look from that bird's eye view, the copy that you see on TV, I'm like, no, the Jamaican guy clearly won. He was ahead of Noah Lyles, period. That's it. And then I watch it on my phone today, and I'm like, wait, what? What the hell happened?
Did you see the BBC's bird's eye view where it's from the top?
Yes.
That's the best angle.
Yeah, but you know what? This guy right here, still not convinced.
But I mean, I have no problem with the announcer.
Good job for Lyles. But
he got it wrong. This is that is probably the closest 100-meter race we've ever seen in our lifetimes. I can't remember another race where literally like the whole damn field is like crossing the line at the same time.
Did you see that? That it was
the heads. And one was like gold medal, fastest man ever, and the other guy's like a quarter of a head behind him, did not medal.
No, like it's the whole race, and it's like time lapsed. And
yes, I saw that one
like
too.
Every 10 meters or whatever it was, that was insane. I showed my wife that, and she was just like at a loss. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I felt watching it. But freaking the Jamaican dude still won in my mind. Like, it's just nuts. Good for Lyles, though. That's going to do it for headlines and hot leads. Coming up next, we'll get you back to some Astro conversation and what lies ahead for them during this stretch of ball games. Are they going to have the personnel to get it done? That's next.
After a rain-shortened Texans loss, how does Coach D'Amico evaluate his guys' Hall of Fame game performance?
Not doing a lot offensively or on defense, but we just want to see.
more about our loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Live from the Twin Peaks studios, Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Area 45 back with you, Sean Bijani, Patrick Creighton, Byron Matthews producing. Yeah, buddy. 713-572-4610, 572-4610. You want to be a part of the show, hit us
By
up.
the way, I'm sure you did not know this.
Maybe I'll surprise you. What you got?
Roman Reigns returned.
Yeah, I'm done.
At SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, which was this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is back.
And how did that go for him?
Went very well for him. Came out, got a monstrous pop, beat the crap out of Solo Sikoa, and then left.
Who is the biggest wrestler going right now?
Probably Roman Reigns.
All right, who's number 2? Give me the top 3. Roman Reigns and then the other 2.
Say Cody Rhodes is 2.
And 3, would you say Rhea Ripley or no?
Rhea's up there.
Rhea?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley.
Is that a man?
No.
Oh, no, it's a female.
That's mommy.
Well, why? No, men's.
Oh, third?
You mean women's wrestling? What are you doing?
Dude, the women are freaking, they draw, man. People, it's totally different than what you're thinking of from 1991 when they were wrestling in pots of gravy. All right, it's not like that no more.
Would you say Gunther's third, maybe?
Oh, my God.
I don't think Gunther's a draw. I mean, I know he just won a title, but he's so bland.
Some guy named Gunther won the title.
Yes.
For WC, what is it called now?
Well, he won the
WWE.
He won the WWE title.
Okay. If Sean Pendergast is listening, he's like just wanting to punch the
Sean
radio.
just hates you right now.
I don't care. There's so much stuff to keep up with. I can't keep up, nor do I have the interest in keeping up with wrestling at this point in time.
It's so bad. Like most of my favorites, like don't really wrestle anymore.
All of mine do.
Like I love The Miz. I love The Miz.
I used to hate him growing up.
He did not wrestle. Oh, he did. You know who wrestled this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah.
What?
Dude, Jelly Roll.
How'd that go?
Is bigger than me, you, and Lil B.
I know. I've seen him.
You can't see me.
Show.
Not if you're standing behind him. I can't.
Was that at SummerSlam?
Yeah, and he clocked somebody with a chair. And he choke slammed somebody.
Yeah.
Which it was so obvious the guy jumped up in the air because, Jelly Roll's lifting up a human being with one hand about as much as I'm growing to be 7'3" tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but the crowd, of course, pops.
Is Jelly Roll tall? I know he's a big guy, but
I don't think he's tall. I'd say he's probably like. How tall would you say Jelly Roll is?
Is he 6? Does he touch 6?
6'2"?
Well, that's tall.
He's a little tall. He was a little taller than R-Truth, right?
I'm looking it up right now.
Like he was taller than R-Truth.
I mean, if he touches 6, that's tall.
I think he's definitely over 6.
Both
ways.
I will Google that though. I'll have to see.
He's 6 standing up and 6 laying down.
Yeah, I get you. 713-572-4610.
Square.
So Ocho said he was going to weigh in on the Stros, and he did. He said, guys, why are some Astro fans acting brand new about this offense? Not only does this happen every season, including the championship years, but it happens with Tucker and at full strength. They will continue to be streaky until they change their batting approach from aggressive to selective. This isn't necessarily about a need for roster upgrades. From Ocho.
They still need roster upgrades, though.
You always have to have roster upgrades, and they do, to some degree every single season.
So the Astros have first and second with nobody out. Myers, McCormick, and Dubon coming up. What do we think happens?
I think, who'd you say? Myers,
McCormick, and Dubon coming up.
Good things are going to happen here. I think they scratch one across. You know why? Who's on the mound for the Rangers? Leclerc. I think the Astros got to Leclerc last year a little bit in the ALCS. When did Altuve hit that home run off of Leclerc?
Yeah, but that's not Altuve at the plate.
I'm just saying. I mean, these guys are capable. Look, Myers, I've been clamoring all season long for
Squares
him
to bunt.
He wouldn't have gotten this opportunity the first 50 games of the season.
Well, yeah, but
they would have pinch hit for him.
They don't have anybody to pinch hit for him right now.
And you got Trey Cabbage over there. You got John Singleton on the bench tonight. They could do it. In fact, are you a little surprised they're not pinch hitting John Singleton for Jake Myers? Instead, they're asking him to lay down a bunt to move the runners over.
No, because if they pinch hit for Myers, you got to move Doobie to the outfield and move Singleton.
What do you mean? Singleton's been your first baseman all season.
Yeah.
And it's a right-handed hitter. I'm just saying, like,
it's just, I'm trading
a pitcher.
I'm trading in a crappy option for another crappy option.
I mean, I'm here to. I'm glad we're seeing this. Now Myers has got to either lay one down. I don't know that he will.
It'd be nice if he could
swing.
actually get a bunt down.
Yeah, I don't know that he will now with 2 strikes on him. But again, I'm just glad to see him get these opportunities.
So foul ball and a bunt, foul ball and a bunt. So 3-run homer coming up, right?
I'll take it. I don't care if it's Myers, McCormick, or Dubon that give it to you either.
All right. So are you more expecting 3-run homer or he gets the bunt down?
I'm not expecting he even attempts a bunt here. I think it's swing away, but I've been wrong before. Oh, he's going to bunt again. There you go. He got it down, and they're going to move him up.
Execute the sacrifice.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. See, give the guy a chance. He's going to come through.
Well, you know how you're talking about they would always pinch hit for Myers in that situation earlier?
Yes, they did.
Well, they're going to pinch hit for Chazzy right here.
With
Victor Caratini.
Don't hate that at all.
Oh, because he can go in and play first base.
Yep.
And then Doobie will go play left.
Yep. When's the last time we saw Victor Caratini at first base?
He did play first base for the Astros at least once this year.
Yeah, I know, but it's been a little bit.
Oh, he missed a lot of time.
Yeah, but it had to be before he'd missed time, right? Like,
yeah, it's before he got
He
hurt.
played first base probably one time when Jose Abreu was still a member of this team in Florida.
He is 6 for 12 as a pinch hitter this year.
Caratini?
Yeah.
And it was this year he had that pinch hit, home run in the extra.
He's got a homer and 5 ribs.
Yeah, there we go.
6 for 12.
Let's go, baby.
As a pinch hitter.
Let's go.
That's some stuff.
It's better numbers than Doobie was showing early in the season. Well, it's about comparable. When people were talking about, man, this dude's clutch. Doobie was like 7 for 18 with runners in scoring position or whatever it was. Late in the game, high leverage, and then since it's been, few and far between. So we'll see. I think Caratini can come through.
I mean,
here.
not for nothing. Let me bounce this off of you. If Singleton's going to continue to be ass,
he's got another hot streak.
And Doobie's going to continue to be. Look at the mullet on that guy! Holy crap!
Is that Doug Jones come back from retirement?
Dude, Ryan Stanek is jealous.
Stanek. Who's that 35-year-old pitcher that won the championship for Tennessee this year in college? They could have a stash off.
That's a NASCAR mullet.
It is. Well done.
I mean, Barry Melrose never had one like that.
Barry Melrose.
Damn.
Who's Barry Melrose? Why
He's
is that?
a hockey player, then a hockey coach, and then a hockey analyst.
No, yeah, that's right. No, dude, he could rock it, and then it's all gray too. When he's rocking it.
Damn. But let me bounce this off you. Instead of, say, having Aledmys Diaz on the bench to not really play, how about having Cesar Salazar on the bench so that you could have a combination of Diaz / Caratini playing first base and the other guy catch, and they could kind of alternate.
Hold on, Diaz, Caratini.
Alternating behind the plate in first base, and you have Salazar as your backup catcher.
I mean, I wouldn't hate that, but I mean, Singleton's going to play. He's going to play. When there's right-hand pitchers, he's going to play.
Yeah, if you said to me, who do you want facing the righty? Do you want it to be
Caratini,
John Singleton, or Victor Caratini? I'm not picking John Singleton.
No, I'm with you. It's Caratini, but I don't see them doing that. I don't. I mean,
how much longer does John Singleton have to play poorly for them to make the switch?
Well, I mean,
is he getting?
We've been asking that question all season long.
Is he getting the Altuve, the Abreu, long leash for a year and a half before?
Jeez, the leash is.
Singleton this year is hitting 231, 273 at bats. And Caratini's hitting 260.
What's his OPS?
123 at bats.
What's Caratini's OPS?
748.
All right, and Singleton just dipped to below 670.
He's
I think
667.
There you go. Look, we know the numbers. It's been the case.
Caratini's got 19 ribs in 123. Singleton's got 28 ribs and 273.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got 150 more at bats, and he's got 9 more RBI. Andrew Chafin is mega mullet.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Curly one too. What would tell me that the Astros would go that direction? From now until the end of the season. What would tell me that they have the propensity to do that? I don't know, because even though they called up Pedro Leon, Kyle Tucker's hurt, man. And something funky's going on there. Obviously, it is way more serious than most guys, any guy that I can ever recall.
He's not even back for a month.
Right. But you don't do that if, in fact, one of your significant power hitters is injured. And so their hands was forced. They traded Joey Loperfido, and if they wouldn't have done that, he'd probably still be the guy, getting shots in right field. But outside of that, they have let Singleton go through long periods of this all season long. He's had 2 good stretches this season in which he's been a 280, 300 hitter for a couple of weeks and then has cooled off considerably. Right now, if you look at his last 15 games, he's not even hitting 170. It might be below 150 at this point in time. I looked last week, and frankly, I'm tired of looking. I don't need to look anymore, because with the 1-for-4s and 2 strikeout games, or the 0-for-3s or the 0-for-4s with a walk or 2, come on. And he hadn't even been doing that. The Astros have walked 10 times combined the last, 9 games probably. It's ridiculous. So there's no indication that they're going to make that kind of move. That would be too logical at this point in time. But it's either something like that or the youth movement. Would you rather see a Caratini-Diaz combo at first base, or would you rather see them go with the young hot hand in Zach DeCenzo at first base?
I'd rather see them go with the young hot hand at first base.
And I'm going to ask you, which would be more conducive to success with, 40-some-odd games remaining in the season, right? And you're in a division race. You're trying, in a wild card race, whatever. You're going to be fighting to get into the postseason. What's more conducive to winning? Going with some veteran guys, kind of, in Caratini and Diaz that have at least got big league experience, or a guy who's hitting really good in a minor league that, a lot of people hit really good in the PCL.
I'd rather go with the guy who's hot, because I already know what I got with the guy who's not. And it's not winning material.
Well,
John Singleton is 9 for his last 51.
No, your choice was Caratini-Diaz combo at first base.
I'd still rather go with Caratini or Diaz.
Over DeCenzo.
No, I'd probably rather bring up DeCenzo.
Okay.
I don't know that I like the idea of playing Caratini every day. I think if you play Caratini every day, you're going to...
he's been an everyday player before.
I think if he plays every day, he's a 230 hitter. Playing him the way that, they play him every couple of days...
Which is funny.
He's a 260 hitter. It's a big difference.
It's funny you say that, though, because that was kind of, what I, not predicting, but just more of a regression to the mean with the kind of year that Yainer Diaz had last season. I'd said, he's going to be playing basically every day. He's your everyday catcher, okay? And so I would not expect him to reach the kinds of numbers that he did last year, at least in terms of power and run production. Well, the run production's there. He's your RBI leader right now. But the power it hasn't been there. Since he's been in the cleanup spot, he's been one of your best hitters on the team.
He's a little low on the homers. He could have more homers.
He could.
The other power numbers are fine, but he could have some more homers. And maybe, as we get through this back 2 months, maybe he gets on another happy homer streak and pumps himself up closer to 20. But his home run production has been a disappointment. But everything else, he's hit 300, leads the team in RBI. He's catching damn near every day. He's gunning guys down. He's been as advertised.
Yeah, well, and I think he's become a better catcher because of the kind of trust and faith, and they've allowed him to kind of work through some things clearly with Fromber and this pitching staff. And I don't know that the numbers, if you look at the advanced numbers on his stuff, whatever his pop time says or framing rate and all that, I don't know what that says. I can tell you, I like what he's looking like behind the dish when I watch him.
Yeah, I like that he guns guys down. He has one of the best pop times in the league. He has one of the strongest arms in the league. He throws guys out with rules designed to benefit the runners.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't need to look at the advanced metrics. I kind of go with what I'm seeing in terms of watching him play every single day. And, he's doing good. He's improved. And I think he will continue to do that. If they want him to be the catcher of the future, then I think he'll continue to get better. If they don't, then boy, I think he's really going to take off as an offensive player.
First and second, nobody out. Bases loaded, 1 out. Astros do not score.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, man, my toes are cramping from crossing them suckers the whole time. Every time. I had good vibes on that. You get first 2 guys on, nobody out. You got to feel good about it. But them bats are struggling, man, to say the least. Coming up next, we'll hit the 9 o'clock hour. Andre Johnson's speech this weekend, man, was fantastic. I'll give you 3 of my favorite moments during his speech, and we'll discuss and kind of relive the fantastic weekend for the Texans and you, the fans. That's next.
The Texans couldn't take down the Bears in the
complex cases. Choose MD Anderson first at mdanderson.org.
KILT FM HD2 Houston. Insider access, exclusive content. Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here. An Odyssey sports station. Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
To the Houston Texans fans, Jim Porter asked me if the Houston Texans were to get the game, how do you think the Houston fans would show up? I told him, you better get ready because we're going to show up and show out. I'm so appreciative of you guys. You guys have shown me so much love from the day I came to Houston, even to now, just being around the city. I was walking in the store the other day. A lady I don't even know. She didn't say, hey, Andre. She didn't say anything. All she said was, I see you in Canton. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys meant so much to my career. You guys motivated me. And I couldn't do a lot of things I did if I didn't have you guys cheering me on. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
And that's why they saved the best for last. Andre Johnson's Hall of Fame speech from Saturday was absolutely by far the best. And not to take anything away from anyone else's induction speech or anybody that inducted them in the words that they had to say about the enshrinees, but that's just how good Andre Johnson's speech was. And maybe I wouldn't feel that way if not for the contingent of Texan fans that were there, but it sure sounded like Houston Texan fans took Canton, Ohio over. It was awesome, absolutely awesome. So a huge tip of the cap to Texan fans that showed up, showed out, as Andre Johnson said, were loud and proud because it was their weekend, PC. That was a fantastic weekend. The Houston Texans, man, in many, many more ways than one, have arrived. And officially, the first ever arrived in Canton, Ohio, and Andre Johnson. Fantastic weekend for him.
Andre's speech longer than any addressing of the media he ever had in his entire career?
By 1,000%.
1 million percent.
Yeah. I told you we had the conversation last week, right? That I asked you the question, like, what kind of Andre Johnson do you think we get in Canton on Saturday? Because, he's not long for, speaking with the media and answering questions, even now. Like, whenever it's been, two times, maybe 3 times in the last 3 years, he's addressed the media because he's been up for the Hall of Fame vote. And it's at least been twice in the last 2 years. And even on those Q&As at NRG, been, basically the same old Andre, kind of short, sweet, not really going to expand on anything. And so I didn't know what kind of Andre Johnson we were going to get for the Hall of Fame speech. And he kind of, set it up last week when he said, I've never done a speech before. I don't know how it's really going to go, whatever. And you're like, okay, it's going to be kind of short and sweet kind of a thing.
Who was the lady in the suit market? Debbie the Texan?
I thought that was my
Steph
first thought.
Stradley or Field?
I don't know Field.
Field is just everybody else.
Oh, you said Field. I get it now. I would say Field. I don't think it was Debbie the Texan. She was there. So I guess it could have been her.
I feel like if it was Debbie or Steph, they would have said more than just "I'll see you in Canton." There would have been like a whole conversation.
Yeah, probably. And
but it would have been cool if it was one of those.
To confirm, you could check Steph's Twitter timeline or Debbie the Texan's Twitter timeline because they probably, he just shouted me out, whatever.
It would have been cool, like if it was like one of those two, because they'd have a story about it.
Oh, for sure. And I would really look forward to Steph's story because she's a great storyteller. That was just really, really awesome. That was my first, that was one of my favorite moments, probably my favorite moment because it was the fans. I love how he acknowledged them. JJ's message to Texan fans was really cool too because, and it was about Andre, but it was cool because he'd said, Andre is like taking all of you guys with him to Canton, and it's always awesome when you can make it, you remember to make it about the fans, you remember to make it about, the teammates, which is what Andre Johnson did in this next clip that I'm going to play for you. If you can pull up Johnson 14, Byron, I mean, how does this not get your juices flowing as a player? Like now, when one of your guys, a former Texan, the greatest or one of the greatest players in your franchise's history, is a Hall of Famer and says this to you during his speech.
To the team, the Houston Texans that are here, man, I hope you guys really take this in, enjoy it, cherish it, because one day, one of you guys could be standing up here, man. D'Amico, I love you, brother. I appreciate you.
How cool is that? One of you guys could be standing up here one day. And, the Texans very likely have a handful of those guys at least that could be standing up there one day inside of the next, 20 years. Maybe less than that in some cases.
How cool is it that, D'Amico's there, the coaches are there, the current players are there,
Yeah.
Andre's teammates were there, former Texans are there. There were so many, so large a Texan contingent that was team related, not even fan related, just team related.
Yeah.
That, the fans, if you were out in Canton, there was no shortage of Texans players, coaches, former players. They were everywhere. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it was very cool. I just, they talked about, D'Amico did, Nick Caserio did, taking the guys up there to the induction ceremony and what that was going to mean for them. They were talking about bonding and stuff like that. Yeah. Anytime you go on the road, stay in a hotel and all that kind of stuff, bonding, is the hope, right? You hope guys just get closer. You hope guys get to know each other on a different level and have fun and let their hair down and, start kind of building, the culture in which is going to, help you win and play for each other and play hard for each other and push each other throughout the season. But as an individual, when you're up there and you're in the moment and you're hanging on, every word that a lot of these guys are saying about their family, about their team, about their experiences. And some of them went there and didn't talk a lick about football. Some of them went up there and talked about, their beliefs and, why their faith kind of helped them get to where they are. And that was the whole thing. And it's great. You hear all those different perspectives and you look at your career, which is maybe just beginning. And maybe it's going to end before it really begins. There are guys there that are just trying to start a career. There are guys there that know, you know what? If I'm healthy and I continue to do what I do, I am going to be there. Laramie Tunsil, Stephon Diggs, maybe Daniil Hunter. There are guys that full well know that is their trajectory. That is their path. And they're hearing that from a franchise great. That's got to get your juices flowing. Not every team in the NFL has that opportunity. So that whole Hall of Fame game, to me, it was much greater, much bigger than just, hey, we get to play a Hall of Fame game, which I would imagine a lot of teams maybe dread because they don't have a guy going in. They don't have a guy as respected. They don't have a guy as vocal. They don't have a guy as important going in as the Texans do in Andre Johnson.
Well, from the overall majority of teams, they're never going to get, fans today are never going to get to see the first player to ever get in for their team. They're never going to have
that's a great point. Yeah.
Surreal moment of, hey, I got to see our very first inductee into the Hall of Fame.
This is probably a question I should know the answer to. But is there another franchise in the NFL that does not have an enshrinee in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Are the Texans the last to do that? I mean, the other options would be a Jaguar, a Panther.
Well, no, Tony Baselli's in for the Jags.
I thought Baselli might be in for the Jags. What about a Panther?
Yeah, defensive tackle. Look for the Bears, too. Julius Peppers.
Peppers.
Every team has one. I just looked it up.
Was Peppers the first one?
I don't know if it's the first one, but I know he definitely went in.
Yeah, I mean, he went in with Dre. That's right. Damn. So you said every team has one, Byron? So the Texans were the last.
It makes sense. They were the last team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just never know. Forgot about Peppers, though. I should have known that. That's even sweeter. Like the first player on the last team to go into Canton. That's very, very cool. Let's play one more. I thought about it like this. Who doesn't wish they could say this on that stage just one time?
I want to thank my mom. All your hard work, sacrifice, dedication. It didn't go unnoticed. The way you raised me and my little brother, it was a Hall of Fame effort. Today, Ma, you go in the Hall of Fame.
Who doesn't wish they couldn't say that? To their mom or their dad, their brother or their sister, whoever.
Mama going to the Hall of Fame is better than you the real MVP.
Yeah.
Mama, you a Hall of Famer.
Who said that? Who said you're the real MVP? Was that Kevin Durant? Yeah, Kevin Durant.
Right before he turned heel.
Man, yeah, that was that just kind of hit me, man. Hearing Dre say that, you're going to the Hall of Fame. Maybe players in Canton or Cooperstown or, somebody that was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Maybe somebody had said that before. But hearing that from Andre Johnson, one of your guys, that just kind of hit different. That was very, very cool. And all I did was, and I'm sure maybe a lot of people did this too, you thought about boy, what if I could say that about my grandfather or my mom or my dad or whoever? 99.999% of us ain't ever going to have the opportunity to say that on that kind of a stage. You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's cool that, for all the success he had, all the money he's made, never forgot where he came from.
Oh, yeah.
Because, especially today, most athletes do.
Yeah.
Not only do they forget where they came from, they act like they ain't never heard of that place.
Yeah, yeah.
That didn't exist. That was somebody else.
Yeah.
Andre's always a guy who's, both feet on the ground. No matter how great things are, always both feet on the ground. And I think that is really cool and something that you can respect in an athlete, that they've stayed grounded. Despite all incredible success, going to the Hall of Fame, they've stayed grounded.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a lot of guys, obviously Andre used his upbringing as a starting point, motivation, and wanted to remember that, needed to remember that to kind of propel him, where other guys, they forget because they want to forget. You know what I mean? They want to forget how what they would deem how bad it was or what a struggle it was, and now they've moved on. But that helped them get probably where they were, where they are. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting, the psychology behind that. 713-572-4610 if you want to weigh in on that, coming up a little bit later. Next, though, you're going to be on or off. We do it every night. It's the bandwagon. Stay put.
After a rain-shortened Texans loss,
except it's pain.
Pain before.
See, I am all about long, slow, and excruciating pain. I am all about that.
Oh.
As Ryan Presley gives up a game-tying home run.
Boy, what a tease that was. That was a great lead-in to that. Long, excruciating, and that is
painful.
pain.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you.
Ryan Presley.
Thank you for that.
We appreciate you, brother.
Son of a gun.
It's never easy.
Get him that biting electric eel.
After the season. What manager hired this guy? A McDonald's worker who was upset his Sunday shift was too busy, decided to start a fire at the restaurant.
Jeez.
Joshua Darrell McGregor. He's going to do a 5-spot for intentionally starting a fire at a Savannah, Georgia McDonald's.
Yeah, you gave his middle name. That's how you know he's in trouble.
He lit a piece of cardboard, threw it in a dumpster that had a lot of flammable material. The fire became so intense, people online in the drive-thru had to leave because the fire was spreading. The whole restaurant had to be shut down while the flames were brought under control. This idiot filmed the fire on his phone and eventually pled guilty to arson charges.
He filmed it on his phone for what purpose? Put it on IG, TikTok?
Dumbass.
What do you hit up? Oh, my God.
This guy should also get the new sex offender punishment. Are you on or off the bandwagon?
Yeah. That's too easy. He's working at the wrong place, though. I mean, it would have made more sense for me if it would have been Burger King, you know, the flame-broiled Whopper.
Or Hardee's.
Or Hardee's,
Same
yeah.
thing.
It's not really the McDonald's shtick. But, yeah, what an idiot. Like, that and then go ahead and lock him in a dumpster with the naked Lizzie Borden lady. And then the lady with the naked Lizzie Borden lady that likes fire. That one. Both of them inside that dumpster. That is his punishment. And see how long it takes him for him to escape, which he won't. Byron?
I'm on the bandwagon. You hit it around the nail. Agree with everything you said.
That a boy. Let's go.
So you know what?
It's coming around.
To me, either we're going to do something excruciatingly painful or just kill him. Because this mofo, like, you can't handle McDonald's on a Sunday. And he's got that crazy eyes, right? Like, this dude is never going to have a job. All he's going to do is be a burden on taxpayers the rest of his life. So either excruciatingly painful or dead.
I mean, that's entry-level kind of stuff right there, and he already, pooped the bed. So, yeah, I think he's done for.
Yeah, that bandwagon is quite full. Joey Chestnut took on the entire CFL. And by CFL, I mean Canadian Football League.
What?
In a mini donut eating contest.
A mini donut?
Mini donut.
Like the little
hostess.
Yeah, the hostess.
Donuts.
That's what I was trying to
Little
search
Debbie's
for.
or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. How many of those did he eat?
Joey Chestnut versus a bunch of Canadian Football League players in the mini donut eating contest. This was with the CFL's Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah.
And this, I guess, is like a tune-up for his hot dog eating contest with Kobayashi next month.
Oh, that's happening?
Yeah, it's going to happen on Netflix.
Nice. Oh, wait, I guess I knew about that, huh?
So you would think 3 football players could eat more mini donuts than one Joey Chestnut.
No.
And if you thought that... Combined. If you thought that, you were wrong. 3 football players ate 98 mini donuts. That's a lot of mini donuts.
Was this timed?
Let's see.
98. I mean, that's
doesn't say, but
33 apiece almost.
Yes. I'm assuming that there was some kind of time on this. It just doesn't say what the time is.
I want to know how many he ate.
Joey Chestnut.
Ooh, let me guess. I'm going to say 128. What?
Set a new world record. 343 mini donuts.
Oh, my God. What kind of donuts? Were these the crunchy ones, the chocolate ones, the white powdered ones?
Let's see. They look like just generic glazed donuts.
Ugh.
And they've all got like boxes of donuts.
You have milk to
They all
wash
have
it
like
down?
one or two, and Joey's got like 12 boxes in front of him. And they're like eating them, and he's like, Tom, 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 Tom. Joey Chestnut
That's overkill.
is an American icon and treasure who defeated the evil Canadians in Canada. Are you on or off the bandwagon?
I guess I'm on the bandwagon. You know, what the hell? Anytime you beat Canada, that's a good thing. But damn, how many did he eat? 300 and something?
343.
I mean, he almost tripled him up. Maybe he did triple him up, right?
He actually more than tripled.
More than tripled him up. I mean, that's unnecessary. And that's got to be worse for you than...
He wanted the record.
It's like if you can do 300 and some odd donuts, then pounding hot dogs should be no problem. I'm just thinking about all that sugar, unless they were like plain cake, but still that's sugar.
Diabetes.
Man, that's tough. But I'm on the bandwagon. Anytime you can beat Canada, it's a great thing.
Diabetes.
Yeah, I'm on the bandwagon. Joey Chestnut. If you don't know who he is, yeah, you're not American. So, and plus, when you beat Canadians, woohoo,
I'd be dead.
Oh, I would too.
I'm a diabetic. I would be dead.
Did they show him like doing this? Like, was he washing this down with water, milk?
It's a
Because,
small clip.
dude,
He's just chowing them down.
that's tough. Like, I would imagine he's probably like using milk. Like, you dunk the donut in the milk, break it up, and
no,
then,
not dairy.
why?
Because that fills you up.
Well, I would think the same thing too, but I mean, liquid, and then I mean, they do the water with the hot dog, and they eat the bun too.
Gross.
And that only causes the bread to expand.
It's
I'm just thinking, like, you want to soften that up a little bit. Like, I would gag. Not gag, but I would choke.
That's what she said? Anyway, Joey Chestnut is definitely an American icon, and that's full bandwagon. Finally, I really want to play in Luke Combs' Fantasy Football League.
Country singer?
Yes. Apparently, he has an excellent punishment for being the loser.
Loser to what?
Fantasy
Fantasy
football.
football? Okay. Ooh.
So he embarrassed some of his friends in front of 60,000 fans as he had to have won the top fantasy football punishment for this year. So here's how he made the losers in his league pay up. 60,000 fans, Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Bengals. Midway through the concert, he says, who here knows what fantasy football is? I've been in a fantasy football league with some of my best friends from high school for 12 years. And last year we decided whoever lost was going to have to come on stage and sing with me tonight. Lucky for me, there was a scoring issue in the last game. And my two best friends in the whole world both lost. Mm-hmm. And they both have to come out and sing in front of all of you tonight. They've been nervous about this for a long time. And he made his two best friends go on stage and sing in front of 60,000 sold-out people.
You know what?
That is freaking epic.
That's awesome.
You love wacky last-place penalties for fantasy football losers.
Yeah, 100%. That is that's, to me, getting a tattoo is like way worse than that.
Oh, no, that's not like a wacky penalty. That's an idiotic penalty.
Right? Like,
wacky penalty is like go sit in Waffle House for 24 hours and for every waffle you eat, you get an hour off.
That would be awesome. But like, to me, that's, dude, I get to be on stage, in front of 60,000 people. I'm going to get liquored up and I'm going to just do whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, that's not punishment for me.
Yeah, little Sean at age 12. Daddy, is this you on the internet? Why are your pants on your head?
Well, I thought you were going to do something like that. Like,
Daddy was drunk on stage, son.
Tell me that, Luke Combs made him come on stage and wear assless chaps and, sing a song or something. That would be kind of embarrassing. But I don't know. I'd have fun with it. I'm on board with this 100,000%.
Oh, yeah, I'm on the bandwagon. The only question I have is, did he get to pick their song, or they got to choose whatever song they wanted to sing?
I think he said they were going to sing "Walking in Memphis."
Oh.
What's one of his songs?
No, it's not one of his songs.
Whose song is that?
I know the answer to that.
I would have sung Neon Moon if I had the choice. I'm at a country concert, so.
It's a Marcone song.
What song would y'all choose?
What is it called?
Walking in Memphis.
Walking in Memphis.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's from Marcone.
Okay.
They sang that.
I don't know. It depends. Like, if I had to wear the assless chaps or something like that.
I think Sean would wear the assless chaps. I think he'd get on stage and just start slapping his own butt and shaking it.
You give me, like, the little horse, and I got to roll around stage in assless chaps.
He'd be looking in the front row going, "Hey, big boy," and slap his own butt.
Do y'all watch Impractical Jokers?
No.
Oh, you know what?
Do you remember that?
Here's what I would do real quick. I would sing Wild Horses, the Rolling Stones, in assless chaps with the horse.
And in a jock strap so it doesn't bang it off the horse. We don't want any more Olympic mishaps.
I hope I just gave everybody out there listening a good visual. Enjoy that.
See, I love the wacky last place penalties. Like when you see somebody's going to spend like a day in a Waffle House, but they get an hour off for every waffle they eat.
That's so good.
Or, you spend 24 hours at a McDonald's and you get like a certain amount of time off for each thing that you eat. Those things. That's kind of cool. I go with that. I'm not a fan of the tattooing.
Just more embarrassing things, though. I mean,
yeah, just embarrass something that's like stupid and embarrassing.
Yeah. Is this a penalty that
there was one where a guy had to go have like a 3-hour dinner in a fancy restaurant with a blow-up doll.
Oh, I heard you did the story. I think. Yeah, you did the story.
Great. That was great. I love that one.
And the waitress was like,
"What the hell's going on?" It's like I lost a bet.
Yeah,
it was great.
He had to order like drinks and stuff.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I'm like, "Oh, this dude lost a bet. I got to read this." And he lost his fantasy.
Do y'all do this in like Nate Griffin's fantasy football thing?
Come on, man, Nate.
Well, I don't know.
Nate would fine me just for talking about that. It's just the thing. Nate doesn't the league doesn't cost a lot to join the league, but Nate issues fines.
What, do y'all have a punishment? Like, do the losers have to do something?
No. It's just that if you say anything like that, you're going to get fined. And Nate comes to fines hard and heavy. They just keep coming. Boom, 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 boom.
I guess
boom.
if I was Nate and anybody talked about bringing this stuff up, because other people in the league would probably think it's a good idea, Nate's going to fine your ass.
We have like a group chat where everybody's in it. But yeah, basically, anytime Nate wants to encourage smack talk. But then when you smack talk, he fines you.
Yeah. Well, when you fine, does the pot go up and then?
No, the fines just are like you owe me a Starbucks card.
Oh, that's it.
You know how many Starbucks cards I've racked up in a single season?
Yeah, probably a lot.
One year I owed him 32 Starbucks cards.
Like $5 a pop or something.
What he drinks is like $7.
Oh, geez.
So
bougie.
32 in a single season.
Come on.
Just because I talk trash, partly on him.
Venti cafe mocha with skim milk. And
there was one I beat him by like 87 points, and I was just ruthless. And he fined me like 20 times just for that.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff.
And that is your bandwagon.
All right. At some point in time, we'll see, because it's a 2-2 game, bottom of the ninth with Josh Hader on the mound. We will have a H-Town post-game show. So coming up next, we'll get you set for that. Caught up on what's happened in the Astros and Junk Grabber game. That's next.
The Texans couldn't take down the Bears in the Hall of Fame game.
Mills in the gun, gets the snap, pumps, now fires right side, has Quatoriano, gets into the end zone, touchdown, Houston.
Obviously, we still have a long way to go, but I thought the guys that stepped up today played well and executed their job.
Insider access, exclusive content, Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-513-0258. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-513-0258 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-513-0258 to see if you qualify. That's 800-513-0258.
Imagine feeling unstoppable again. That's the power of the Men's Tea Clinic. Over the last decade, thousands of men across Houston have put their trust in the team at Men's Tea Clinic for their total wellness optimization. Dedicated providers, cutting-edge therapies, and individualized plans are designed to get you back to being you. More energy, sharper mental clarity, enhanced overall vitality. It's not just
Live from the Twin Peaks Studios, Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Although I do think that's actually So Josh Hader here just, like, I don't know, did he fall off the mound? Did he lose his balance?
He lost his footing with his left foot on his plant foot. Or not his plant foot, but, he does the little high leg kick out of the stretch, and it looked like his left heel had kind of slipped off. And so he overcorrected, fell off the mound, and that was a balk. Yep.
So the junk grabbers and a man on second and 1 out. In the bottom of the ninth, tied at 2. Because Hader in non-save situations, not Hader in save situations. In save situations, Hader's been awesome. Mm-hmm. In non-save situations, he's been...
All right, so I'm looking at his leverage situation. Not leverage, but...
he's converted 22 straight save opportunities.
Where is it? Clutch stats, right? So tie game this season. 13 games he's appeared when it's tied. 55 plate appearances, 50 at-bats. He's given up 9 runs, 10 hits, a double, 4 homers. Batting average for the opponent has been 200.
No, it's the home runs. It's 4 homers and 50 at-bats.
4 homers. He's given up 6 homers when it's late and close. 2 homers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. But it's the tie game. It's 2-2 right now. I mean, the numbers outside of the home runs aren't bad at all.
No,
it's
that's
the home run.
With Hader, all of his peripherals are good except 1, homers.
Yeah.
That is the only number on him that doesn't match up. Everything else is really strong. Home runs are just such an outlier, and they've cost him a handful of games this year.
9 homers given up on the season, and 4 of them in this type of situation. The 9 home runs that he's given up is the most in a season since 2019 when he gave up 15 home runs. He was an all-star that year. It's actually a pretty good year for him. 2.62 ERA, a .806 WHIP.
It was the only way to get him was to hit a homer.
Yep, and that's it. And fortunately, it's been that way for him a little bit this year. We'll see if he can make it out. He's got 2 outs, 1-1 count on Adolis Garcia.
I'm telling you, if he doesn't get a strikeout here, can he hit him in the face?
I would not be opposed to that.
Or in the beans.
There you go. Okay, I thought that was strike 3.
In the head or in the beans?
Oh, man, in the beans. Come on.
In the beans.
Yeah, in the beans. I don't want to go head hunting here.
In fact, I want him to swing and miss on a pitch he gets hit in the beans on.
In fact,
that would be perfect. Swing and a miss on a pitch that hits him in the beans.
Somewhere between the armpit and the hip, just little rib action. Wouldn't mind that at all.
Kidney shot.
Yeah, kidney shot. Wouldn't mind that at all.
Peeing blood for a few days.
So we'll have an H-Town postgame show for you at the conclusion of this one, whenever that might be. You got to tell this story because I was actually going to bring this guy up on the show tonight, and I hadn't gotten to it yet. But somebody liked a tweet of yours today.
So Tom Mars is a very prominent attorney.
Tom Mars, okay.
And he is actually the attorney that was representing Jim Harbaugh against the NCAA. And you know how there's all these things about, Jim Harbaugh failed to cooperate with the NCAA and they're going after him for all that.
Yeah.
So Tom Mars today posted the email chain with the NCAA of what they deemed to be failure to cooperate.
Okay.
So he sent an email back to the NCAA. He said, there are 6,199 emails that I've been given access to. And the e-discovery team gave me a tutorial yesterday on how to review and search the emails. The software does not allow you to search and designate as privileged or confidential emails that were sent or received by any one particular person. Therefore, he has to review each individual email and any attachment.
Well, yeah, sure.
Assuming it takes 30 seconds on average to determine whether it's privileged, confidential, attachment, or whatnot, he said it would take about 51 hours to review all of the emails. He said this review is going to cause Coach Harbaugh to incur legal fees over $38,000, not to mention when it's going to cost to have me review the rest of the text messages and phone logs that were extracted from the university's phone system. He says, I also have other pressing matters to deal with in the coming weeks, including the submission of a lengthy expert witness report in a complex federal case where I'll be testifying as an expert witness. My calendar in the coming weeks does not include space for another 50 hours of work that I only learned yesterday was going to be necessary to comply with the enforcement staff's records request.
Okay.
He says, I think the scope of the records is very broad. 6,199 emails can't possibly contain, all the info leading for discovery of whatnot. He said, for this reason, I'm asking the enforcement staff to narrow the record requests to only include emails between Coach Harbaugh and persons associated at relevant times with the university athletic department and football, which would include boosters. The NCAA responded, Tom, we shared your message of concerns with the NCAA staff. They said, because Mr. Mars can sort and search the data, which reduces the time necessary to identify privileged communications, we expect the institution to produce the entirety of the records, including those from Coach Harbaugh, by January 31st. The email was sent January 30th at 10:18 a.m.
So they wanted them to do that. They wanted them to go through 6,200 emails in one day.
24 hours.
Okay.
And because they were unable to do that, Coach Harbaugh was hit with failure to cooperate.
Okay, now that's ridiculous. However, maybe I was thinking as you're going through this guy needs to hire paralegals or he needs to give this client up. Because if you're unable to do the due diligence and go through these emails for discovery, and you're saying you can't do it, you have other obligations, well, then you can't represent this counsel.
Well, usually when you have a conflict like that, a court would just give you more time.
Isn't that what they call a stay?
This isn't a court. This is the NCAA doing their own investigation.
Uh-huh.
And he said, I would need 51 hours to review this. They gave him 24.
Yeah. 51 hours is kind of getting it, too, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's like hardcore, 51 hours relentless.
Yeah, I mean, and that's if you're spending like 30 seconds per email. Come on.
That's what he said, 30 seconds an email. Like, if I just go with it, it's 51 hours of work.
Yeah, no, and that's probably easily turns into 200, 300 hours of work.
You know where my stance is on the NCAA. I have been waiting for universities to get the hell away and just go to self-governance for decades.
Yep.
I put out a tweet today. I said the NCAA actually expected a review of 6,200 emails in 24 hours, and not doing so equaled failed to cooperate. Can't wait till universities all dump the NCAA and go to self-governance. The NCAA is trash. And that post got liked by somebody rather interesting. Connor Stallions.
That is so funny.
Connor Stallions.
For people that don't know who Connor Stallions is, he's the former staffer from Michigan that was revealed to have led an effort to capture play calling signals of their opponents and their future opponents. And that, of course, all came to an head this past regular season, which led to Harbaugh being suspended for the final 3 games of the regular season. So what has since happened to Connor Stallions?
He's banned from Michigan.
I would imagine he's not just banned from Michigan, but probably any collegiate football program, right?
Well, I don't think other collegiate football programs have had to address it because he's not been a part of it. But I would figure that he would probably not be allowed to get a credential by anyone ever.
I mean, because now I would imagine Connor Stallions is facing a level 1, violation by the NCAA, as is Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh in this case.
Harbaugh's actually at a level 2.
I thought he was level 1.
I think the failure to cooperate was a level 2. I think that's what it said in one of the other stories that I read.
Okay.
But either way, there are level
right.
1 violations that are being levied against the university. And, Sharon Moore is being accused of multiple level 2 violations as well.
Who is the current head coach?
He's the current head coach. like if you're Michigan, it's like, all right, we should just draw this out as long as we can until we ditch the NCAA, we go to self-governance, and then the NCAA can go F themselves.
Oh, boy, it's going to be interesting. And I think we are going to have a very interesting situation to break down. We will do that next as we roll into the 10 o'clock hour. It is Area 45.
It getting cray-cray.
After a rain-shortened Texans loss, how does Coach D'Amico evaluate his guys' Hall of Fame? Insider access, exclusive content. Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here. An Odyssey sports station. 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
10 o'clock hour, Sports Radio 610, alongside Patrick Creighton. Sean Bijani, it is Area 45. Astros with Caleb Ferguson making his second appearance since becoming an Astro on the mound for the bottom of the 10th inning. The Astros able to get a run in the top half of the inning in a very unusual way. Jeremy Pena finding any way to get a run across the plate tonight. He's done so twice, the first of which came in the the 8th inning, in which he grounded to third base and reached safely to drive in a run. Then, that at the time gave the Astros a 2-1 lead, which the Rangers quickly took back with a Corey Seager homer in the 8th. And then now, after Yainer Diaz, and the play had to be reviewed, says he got hit by a pitch. The umpires deemed that, yes, in fact, he did. That loaded the bases. Pena was next, and he got hit by a pitch on his right forearm that allowed a run to score, giving the Astros a 3-2 lead. Certainly should have scored far more in the inning with the opportunities that they had with less than 2 outs and runners on base. They loaded them up and couldn't get much else going on outside of the run scored on a hit by pitch. But we'll see if Caleb Ferguson can get the save for the Astros. He pitched on Saturday in the Rays series. I did not see him on the mound this weekend. I don't know how he looked, but Saturday,
2 runs in 2 innings.
Did he really? I was going to say it didn't go so well for the Astros on Saturday, nor did it obviously on Sunday, losing that 1-0 ball game. But see if he can get the job done here tonight, man. I know his numbers are really good against lefties. He's not facing one now, but did strike out a right-hander.
Robbie Grossman, sit on down.
Former Astro. There you go. Took him 4 pitches to get one out with the ghoster on second base. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that one. Stros and Rangers each with 4 hits tonight in this ball game. A game in which you'd really like to see the Astros come away with because, I mean, it was a good start by Hunter Brown. I know he labored a little bit, 97 pitches through 6 innings. Walked a couple of guys tonight, had the homer ball that he gave up, but still only allowed 3 hits, struck out 4. And nice efforts by Brian Abreu, Josh Hader out of the pen. Ryan Presley obviously touched up for the dinger tonight. Wait, was it a home run that
Yeah, he gave a home run to Seager.
Yeah. No, Presley gave up the homer to Seager. I said Brown gave up a homer, but I'm sorry, he did not. It was a sac fly to left that is how the Rangers got one on Brown. That was in the 5th inning.
You notice Caleb Ferguson wearing Brandon Bielak 64.
Brandon Bielak. That is not a jersey number that I remembered, but good job by you.
Would you like to know? Here are the names of guys who wore 64 for the Astros. Alex Spees, Bielak.
Hold on, give me the year on Spees.
This year.
What?
Yeah. He had a cup of coffee.
Gosh, okay.
Raymond Goudouin, Lucas Harrell.
Remember him.
Robinson Cancel.
Don't remember him.
Fernando Nieve.
These are lean year guys, huh?
06, 08. And in 2000, the first player to ever wear 64, Chris Truby.
Chris Truby, how about that?
He's the only guy on the list I couldn't place.
Was Truby a first baseman or a corner outfielder? Not sure. I remember the name, though. I feel like he was a long, lanky guy. So could have been a first baseman or an outfielder. 64, not a memorable digit.
He was 6'2", 190, so I guess qualifies as lanky.
Yeah. What position did he play? Was I right? First baseman or corner outfielder? One of those?
Corner infielder. Played first, but probably played third.
Did he? Okay.
Third base, he played the overwhelming 242 games at third, 3 at first, 1 left.
You know what? I do now think I kind of remember Fernando Nieve. I think he had sideburns. I don't know why I remember that. Maybe I'm misremembering him, but I think Fernando Nieve had sideburns. if you look up his picture.
Not on the picture they have.
No? Let me see his face. It's a dark picture. It may not be him. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll see. 2 outs, 2-1 count. Josh Smith at the dish for the Rangers. So at the conclusion of this ball game, hopefully soon, in a good way, we'll have a happy recap, baby, on a H-Town post-game show.
We need a happy recap. I can't deal with any more non-happy recaps.
Yeah, well, this would be a good one to get. Like, when the bats aren't working, you got to find a way to win.
To get
good teams usually do
multiple runs on an infield hit and a hit by pitch.
Hey, when you get the Breggy homer in the third inning.
Son of a bitch.
No way. Yeah, walk off.
It's a crappy recap coming up next.
Ass. You can start it, Byron. We're going to have a crappy one.
Presents H-Town Postgame with Bijani.
It is the H-Town Postgame Show.
And Creighton.
Hold on, Jerry. This is my show. So since it's my show, I get to control who talks and when.
Ground ball. Dubon throws to first. No-hitter. Ronel Blanco.
It's a no-hitter for Ronel Blanco.
Yiner hits one high, deep, forward. Get about it up on the train track. That was a Yiner bomb. This ball smoked deep right center field. Number 2 on the night, the big man. Changeup and slider. Go ball. That ball hit pretty well to right. And there's a walk-off. A walk-off with 2 outs. Victor Caratini, the star of the game. The Astros, who are struggling extra innings, walk it off 10-9. I like him a little dirty, and I like a couple of olives for the walk-off Caratini.
Man, it was tough. 4-3 the final. Should have been 3-2. 4-3 final. The Rangers win it in 10 innings. Caleb Ferguson, of the 2 deadline moves made by the Astros and Dana Brown last week, the Ferguson acquisition looking far more like the one that's going to turn out to be ass. He's not had a good start to his Astros tenure. Gives up the 2-run homer in the bottom of the 10th, and the Astros have now lost 3 straight ball games, and the Rangers are now within 3.5 games of the second-place Astros in the AL West, who fall to 1.5 games behind the Seattle Mariners, who are off tonight. So, slight silver lining in that regard. If you'd like to be a part of the H-Town postgame show, call in, vent, talk about this one. What'd you see? What'd you think? Hit us up, 713-572-4610, 572-4610. You can call or text, tweet at us as well, at P. Creighton, the number 1, at Sean Bijani for myself, Twitch, YouTube chats available for your reaction as well. Damn shame, because Hunter Brown, again, pitched really, really well tonight. 6 innings, 3 hits, gave up the lone run off of the sac fly in the 5th inning. And look, this was a game in which we've seen far too much of over the course of the last week and a half plus, PC. The offense struggling. 2 of their runs tonight coming off of Jeremy Pena plate appearances, an infield RBI single, and a hit by pitch. Outside of that, it was a Bregman line drive home run in the 3rd inning, which was their first hit and the only hit that they'd got until the 7th inning.
I'm still kind of bent about this walk-off homer. So Ferguson comes in.
He should be. It happened 3 minutes ago.
Strikes out Grossman. Strikes out Jonah Heim. And then grooves one to Josh Smith. Absolutely grooves it. What are we doing? I
mean, it was a 5th pitch of the at-bat. It was a 3-1 count.
You get 2 strikeouts, and then you groove one?
Yeah. Right over the outer half of the plate, huh?
Oh, lefty, so inner.
Oh, inner.
Inner half.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Middle in. Basically, you put it on a tee.
Yeah.
And 94 is fast, but when you throw it down the middle, it ain't that fast.
Well, these guys can all hit fastballs.
94 down the pipe is not that fast. I mean, I think Josh Hader has taught us because he's thrown a few 95, 96 down the pipe and gotten tagged.
Yeah.
So, just a real crappy way to lose a game. I mean, look, it would have been a crappy way for the junk grabbers to lose, giving up runs on an infield single and a hit by pitch. It was a savvy hit by pitch by Jeremy Pena, who pretty much sticks his back elbow out there to get hit by the pitch.
I was thinking the same thing, but I mean, he was turning, to it would people would
at the end he dipped it down.
Yeah, it would have been called like an aggressive take, right? And maybe he did.
Listen, it was going to be a hit by pitch. No, anybody who did that, same thing would have happened. Hit by pitch, veteran move, where he just kind of. Yep.
Sure. And look, you would have taken it. I was in the middle of saying, I think, when the home run happened by Josh Smith a few minutes ago, that, it's not great. It's not ideal. You want to see the bats come alive. But damn, when the bats are struggling and you get a pitching performance like you did tonight out of Abreu, out of Hader, and obviously Brown, his start, which was terrific. And another quality start. Was that like 12 out of his last 14 or something ridiculous like that? Good teams find a way to win these games. It doesn't matter how. And it can be fluky, ways where, an RBI single gets it, soft contact, whatever. How many times have we seen the Astros here recently, and Ryan Presley specifically burnt on soft contact? It happens. It'd be nice to win some of these games, but Astros are going to have to wait for another day.
So your top four. Altuve 1 for 4 with a walk, scored twice. Greggy solo homer and 5 at-bats. Yordan 0 for 3, walked twice, including 1 intentional. Yainer 0 for 2, he walked twice. And was hit by a pitch.
And was hit, yeah.
Pena was 2 for 4 with 2 ribs and a hit by a pitch. Jake Myers, 0 for 3, 3 whiffs. Not 1, not 2. 3 whiffs. Jazzy Fizz 0 for 2. Trey Cabbage 0 for 2 with a whiff. Mauricio Dubon 0 for 3 with a whiff. John Singleton whiffed in his only at-bat. Pedro Leon 0 for 4 whiffed 3 times.
So what you're saying is your 6, 7, 8, 9 guys
were a black hole.
0 for 12 with, count it, 4,
10.
6.
10 whiffs.
Yeah, you're going to go Singleton too on that?
10 friggin' strikeouts.
Yeah.
From 6, 7, 8, 9. 0 hits. Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
For a team that doesn't strike out a lot, 12 strikeouts total tonight for the Astros, which oddly enough, they worked 6 walks and they were hit twice.
You know what? I love Chaz. I've always loved Chaz. I love the hustle, the heart. You know what? Chaz can't hit his way out of a paper bag right now. And when you can't hit, you can't make the kind of throws he made tonight. He had 2 throws that impacted this game. One, throwing on a tag up. There's a single guy going first to third, and Chaz has no arm.
Talking about that one that sailed.
No, not that. It was before that one.
That was before.
It was right before that one. His runner's going first to third, and Chaz's throw isn't even close. Greggy's got to come up the line to get it. He's like they come like 10 steps in towards the infield because he throws way off line, and even if it was on line, it wasn't close. And then on a tag up play, he throws the ball so wildly that Yainer couldn't even catch up to it. It was so wide of home plate. And not only does the run score, but the runner at first goes all the way to third.
Yeah, but he knows he can't make that throw. Like, he didn't have the strong enough arm to make that throw. That throw should have gone to third base. He shouldn't have even attempted to get that guy at home. Like, cut off the lead runner, throw it to third, hold him at second, maybe have an opportunity to get it to third if he tries to push it.
I am all for Zach DeCenzo at first base, and Shea Whitcomb in left field.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
But Chaz had 2 hits last week in a game.
Last week.
You going to give him a chance?
He had 2 hits the whole week. He did get a chance. You know what? Then he went 0 for 0 for 0 for 0 for and made an error.
But it's been like that. I mean, I'm more willing to give, a leash to Chaz than I am John Single at this point in time. Because
that's why DeCenzo should be playing first base.
I don't disagree with that.
If you're not hitting, and what? John Singleton had, 4 missed plays last week?
Jeez, was it? Well, yeah, I remember the couple of
2 in one game?
I remember those, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're not playing defense and you can't hit, bye.
713-572-4610, 572-4610. The Astros, do they need a youth movement? Is that going to give juice to maybe an exhausted team right now? If you want to weigh in on that in this game, you can hit us up, 713-572-4610. H-Town post-game show on Area 45. Rolls on. Stay there.
The Texans couldn't take down the Bears in the Hall of Fame game.
Mills in the gun, gets the snap, pumps, now fires right side, has Quatoriano, gets into the end zone, touchdown, Houston.
Obviously, we still have a long way to go, but I thought the guys that stepped up today played well and executed their job.
Insider access, exclusive content, Sports Radio 610. The
Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Bijani and Creighton back with you. H-Town post-game show, Area 45. You want to jump in, be a part of the show, hit us up, 713-572-4610, 572-4610. Astros handed a third straight loss after a crappy weekend finish with the Rays at Minute Maid Park, in which they combined to score just one freaking run, and really 4 over their last 3 games entering tonight. They lose 4-3 in 10 this evening. Their third straight loss. They've now lost 6 of their last 8. Count it, 9 out of their last 14 games have been L's. And thankfully, the Mariners were off tonight, so the Stros only fall a half game behind them, which is now 1.5 within the AL West. And the Rangers catching up a bit. They're now 3.5 behind the Astros with 2 more games to go in this regular season series finale between these two teams. They're done with the Rangers. That's why this series is uber important for the Astros. They got to pick themselves up by their bootstraps tomorrow, and hopefully they do with Framber Valdez on the hill. Yusei Kikuchi will take the ball on Wednesday, so you got to feel pretty damn good, PC, about the Astros and what they're going to be putting out there on the mound. It's just, damn it, you need them to swing the bats. They found really interesting ways to put runs across tonight. A line drive dinger by Alex Bregman that wouldn't even been a home run in his own ballpark at Minute Maid, but it got the job done, right? From a guy who hadn't been run producing very much of late at all. He gets one over the fence. You're thinking, hey, with Hunter Brown on the mound tonight, this might be okay, but man, held to what? Just 4 hits on the evening were the Astros. 713-572-4610, 572-4610 if you want to be a part of the show.
You know what else is really annoying about this?
What?
You got Caleb Ferguson, lefty, so you could get lefties out. Strikes out the 2 righties, gives up the bomb to the lefty.
Yeah, I think lefties were hitting 173 off of him this year.
Oh, 225 overall, but still. Holding lefties to a 225 average and a 677 OPS. They were only slugging 306 against him.
Yeah.
And he gives up a freaking home run to the lefty after whiffing the first 2 guys. Like, I'm trying to.
What did he do?
How in the friggin' hell?
What did he do on Saturday? Did he give up a couple of hits to some lefties?
He gave up a couple of hits. I don't know if he gave lefties, but he gave up 2 runs in 2 innings and just was generally mid.
Let's get out to Mike from Katy. You're on Sports Radio 610. What's up, Mike?
West side, best side.
West side, best side, PC. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I know. Here with another crappy recap because the Astros can't score any damn runs. They leave a damn village on base. I feel like I'm watching the Astros in April.
Man, PC, man, let me tell you that it's like I told Byron, I was listening to the game, and then I was listening to the game on the AM, and I switched it over, and I was talking. I said, "Man, they ain't even heard it yet," and I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, you gotta love that delay.
I knew it was coming, man. Oh yeah, that delayed. That delayed real nice, man. Man, I don't know what's going on with these boys, man. Peace on, tell me, man. Y'all going to, man? I'm calling y'all for help, cause man, it seems like somebody need to call help for these Astros, cause they ain't doing. I mean, pitching is barely holding the team together, and that's, hey man, we talking about Band-Aids, duct tape, Gorilla Glue, and all kind of.
How long,
man?
How long were you going to be able to sustain? I was going to say, how long were you going to be able to sustain life without Kyle Tucker? John Singleton supplying a big fat 0 for you at first base. Chas McCormick can't get his way out of a wet paper bag, as PC said earlier.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can't sustain all of that underperformance. And, underperformance is one thing, but it's a completely other thing to, kind of hope and pray that you're going to be able to finally get something out of a guy who has struggled to stay in baseball at any level over the course of the last decade. In John
I know
Singleton.
this year has been so disastrous. I mean, it just like from, man, I don't know, just from managing. Like, I don't know, this year just been really crazy for the Astros, and I just, man, I would just like to know what y'all think the answer might be, man, because they gonna have to come up with one pretty quick, man.
Yeah, Mike, appreciate you as always, man. Thanks for joining us. I think the answer we kind of discussed earlier, it's whether or not the Astros are going to pull the damn trigger, right? PC, it's something that Chandler Rome wrote about in his recent piece in The Athletic. Does there need to be a youth movement? I had a little trepidation about that because, I mean, right now you're kind of entrusting Pedro Leon, who is a hell of a minor leaguer, hell of a guy to, hit bombs for you AAA, but you're going to be entrusting him, maybe even Shea Whitcomb, maybe Zach DeCenzo, like 3 rookies, to supply the offensive boost for you going forward for this next month, which is pivotal. And you've got like arguably your toughest stretch of the season that you are in the midst of right now coming up if you're the Astros.
Oh, and here's a crazy idea. When you bring up the minor league guy who's hitting, don't sit him for a friggin' week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think we're seeing that with Pedro Leon. His timing is off because he sat for a week.
And what the hell is the thought process behind that?
Well, Chazzy had 2 hits in the games. We had to play again the next day, and then he did nothing. And then Dubon got a start, and then then Dubon had the pinch hit homers, then he had to get a start.
Yeah, but what about the guy that is, littering everybody's Twitter timeline with dingers and doubles and RBIs every single night at AAA and Pedro Leon? Like, that guy, none of those guys that you just mentioned, Chaz or Doobie, could carry Pedro Leon's jockstrap for what he'd been doing on a baseball field. Like, get that guy in. That's the whole thought process. Like, that's not old school thinking. That's, hey, you know what? This guy's producing. Let's call him up. He's earned a spot. We just traded the dude that we had at right field,
and they did
Joey Loperfido.
They did the same thing to Loperfido. Remember, they brought him up, and then, he'd have these weird stretches where he wouldn't play for unknown reasons. They brought him up a second time. He didn't play at all.
Yeah.
I do not understand. If you're going to bring a kid up, you put him in the lineup. There's no need to bring him up if you're not going to play him.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You don't bring young guys up to sit.
It's weird.
Especially to have them sit behind guys who, can't hit their way out of a paper bag.
They'll bring young pitchers up and throw them into games that have no business being in Major League Baseball. Spencer Arrighetti at the time, Jake Bloss at the time, for that matter,
Blair Pitch Project.
Yes, absolutely. You took it right out of my mouth. But God forbid, a young hitter with timing and rhythm and just being a guy who is an everydayer as Loperfido was, being an everyday contributor like Pedro Leon was in the minor leagues for a long time now for Pedro Leon. You going to come and sit him for 7 days before he even gets any action? But it's cool. You play him 3 days. No, man, now he's got to adjust. This guy had sat for 4 days once this season in between starts. Pedro Leon did twice. One was a freaking all-star break, and the other one, I think he was banged up with an injury, and he gets his call up to the big leagues, and, dude, I don't understand it. Like, I'm going to give them their kudos. I'm going to give them the tip of the cap all day long for being able to develop guys.
Somebody explained to me why Taylor Scott wasn't in the game tonight.
Yeah, Michael Schwab on Twitter said the same thing.
Ferguson was.
Yeah, I don't get it.
One of these guys has earned leverage situations, and one of these guys is basically like one of your deadline reclamation projects.
Oh, and Taylor Scott has absolutely earned every opportunity to pitch in big time situations. I legitimately look. You needed him tonight, and they didn't use him. But he needs to be, a seventh inning option for you, an eighth inning option for you. If either Abreu or Presley, isn't able to go for whatever reason, usage, load management, whatever the case may be, he's got to be an option for you. Why he wasn't an option for you tonight, I don't understand it. I get it. You got Caleb Ferguson for a reason, but I don't really see tonight being that reason. He's not having a great year. He's having a pretty solid season against lefties, but there were 2 righties to start the inning for the Rangers. And he did a great job. Didn't he strike out both of them?
Yeah,
I know he did the first
and
one.
Grossman was a pinch hitter. But he gets first 2 guys on strikeouts. You're like, all right, he's against the righties. Now you got the lefty coming out. Let's go. And puts one right in the friggin' wheelhouse.
I mean, I don't know what Taylor Scott's numbers are against righties, lefties, or those guys in particular.
I know he's got like a 167 ERA overall.
And that's what matters, man. I mean,
pretty sure that is not ass.
It ain't. It is not ass at all. And they've put Taylor Scott in every situation this season. He's been a freaking spot starter for you. He's been a long reliever for you. He's pitched in garbage junk ball games in which you've been getting your ass kicked. And then he's earned his way into being able to pitch into high leverage situations. I know about a couple of weeks ago he took one on the chin. I get it. But hell, on this Astros pitching staff this year, who hasn't taken one on the chin? He's been able to rebound and pitch his ass off. There's got to be a reason as to why Joe Espada didn't go Taylor Scott route this evening. I would imagine if he's spoken already, certainly he'd been asked about that. If he hasn't, hopefully he is asked about that situation. If you want to talk about this one, jump in with a 713-572-4610, 572-4610. Coming up next, final segment, we'll get you set for tomorrow, the rest of this series, and try to figure a way out for the Astros to get themselves hitting the baseball again. That's next.
After a rain-shortened Texans loss, how does Coach
Mills in the gun.